So I, I'm serious when I ask this though. Like I want to know why that came up. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what was the logic, I would say, when somebody says women. And I get it. Like it's supposed to be like, um, men are supposed to be the protectors, everything like that. So that concept I understand, but that's if there's a situation in which the man has to be sacrificed. Like you guys don't get away unless the man sacrifices themselves. Mm. But on the Titanic, though,
like we all die.
Hold on. Let's put this. Let's put this in as if you were there, right? Let's put this if you was there. Titanic's going down. Everybody's panicking. You know, oh no, what do we do? You see the lifeboats. You running. You notice that you got there before all these other people, right? Dude stops you. Sorry, sir. Women and children first. The women and children ain't there yet.
I'm trying to leave.
So sorry, sir. Women and children first. $100 says any logical person is punching that dude in the face.
Oh yeah.
Right? I'm getting in this lifeboat. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder whoever made up that whole spiel of women and children first before the guy in that situation. I bet money they were the guy that lived, right? They were like, I'm gonna live women and children first after, right? Like I think that's what it is. It's either that or a child or a woman survived and said that's how it was like. Because with all the male survivors they had on the Titanic, ain't no way it was women and children first the whole time.
True.
So someone's capping. I don't know who, but someone's capping. So I just want to get it out the way. But what made you want to discuss this though?
So initially, it started off as funny. If you've ever heard of the comedian Bill Burr, he has a funny little discussion about how, like, in the Titanic situation, he wants to get away and survive just as much as, you know, the women and children who are always allowed first. And he's like, what about me? I don't want to die. And then he goes on to point out that it's like in a bank robbery when they're holding hostages, who do they always ask for first? Oh, let the women and children go. And it's like, I want to be with the psycho killer. I want to live too.
Yeah. So
as a funny point as it is, then you like sit down, you're like, wait a minute. He kind of right. I don't want to die either. Okay. So what are we trying to do?
So, okay. Let's explain the Titanic alone, right? There's a lot of conspiracies that says the Titanic itself wasn't actually the Titanic. There was a older ship that they skipped on a whole bunch of maintenance and blah 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 blah. And I think who is it, Rockefeller or somebody? What was the owner of that ship? It was somebody who owns like a big chain. They were the owners of that ship, and they had all their competition on that same exact ship, and the ship went down. Right? Is this? I gotta look it up. Hold on. Let me look it up real quick, because I know that's a thing. Hold on.
Because I remember there was that theory. I remember hearing there's one theory about insurance fraud where they wanted the ship to be just a total loss because it was so old, so they could just get all the money for it when it sank. What was our other theories?
Okay, here it is. J.P. Morgan.
The bank. Okay,
that's what they said.
Okay.
They said J.P. Morgan. It was apparently it was fact checked though. So they said J.P. Morgan did not sink the Titanic to push forward plans for the Federal Reserve. Oh yeah, is J.P. Morgan in charge of the Federal Reserve? It's multiple families, isn't it?
I think so. But I mean, to be fair, J.P. Morgan's also the one who had the container ship off the port that had like a couple $100 million worth of drugs, and all of a sudden it was out of the news in like 2 days. So,
okay, while it is true that the J.P. Morgan owned the Titanic and did not sail on its doomed voyage, there is no evidence to suggest he deliberately missed the trip because he knew the ship would sink. Historians have debated several reasons for Morgan to cancel his trip, but none is related to the Federal Reserve. So it's not saying he didn't do it. It's just saying there's no proof that he did. I know there was like a theory where it's like all his biggest competitors were on the ship. All his biggest competitors died on the ship, and whatnot. So, and then especially with the way ships were, especially going through, I believe it was northern seas. There's no way you miss an iceberg that big, and we know how icebergs look, right? We know how they look. There's like more at the bottom than at the top, but the way it was, right? The way it was, ain't no way you miss that big of an iceberg at the top than anything. There's no way, but that's a conspiracy for another day. So as a guy, right? My role is, of course, if I have a family, to protect them. My family. Which means if my ass was on the Titanic, either with my girlfriend or wife at the time, but no children, guess what? It ain't going to be my wife on the boat. It's going to be me and my wife on the boat. Right? It ain't going to be, I'll miss you. You know that little, I'll miss you, all that other shit. No. We on the boat, and it's not like I'm gonna pull you off like we gonna die together. No, me and you both got here. We both got here ahead of all these other people. We both on the boat. I dare somebody to tell me in way my life is in danger. Sorry, sir. What? Imagine a building on fire, and you're the first one to try to get out the door. You're like, you're gone, and then the firefighter stops you like, hold on, sir, hold on. Women and children first. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Like what? You getting popped and I'm gone, right? But actually, I feel like the idea that it's, of course, women and children first, no matter what. I feel like there was a way in society in which they tried to make sure that wasn't the case, right? If you look at it after the Titanic, you gave, what was it? 1912 was the Titanic, which led to, of course, the Roaring 20s, 30s, everything after that, right?
Right.
If you look at the concept of men in the family setting, the man was the protector, but the man was also the most important. Right. The man would be the one, if anybody had to survive out of everything, it was the children, then the men, then the women. Right. In the homestead, the man got his plate first.
Right.
Right. This is the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Right. This is how it is. I feel like that, or what happened there, would be viewed as a mistake by some in society, that they try to push it to be the opposite. At the same time, scientifically, it made no sense. Because there are, I think for every man, there's 1.5 women. I believe that's the ratio. So in a situation like that, the man would take precedent because of the fact that there are less of us. Right? And I'm not saying like, oh, there's women and children already there, I'm going to pull one out and let a man go. But that was the same thing they did when there was men in there and there's more women and children to get on board. They had to kick the man out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how important or how true was that? Like, was that actually a thing, or did we just go based off of what the Titanic movie said? Like, how much of that is accurate? Because again, too many men survived for that to happen. Hell, there's a one scene, and apparently it's true, but I think it's a lie, where the band was still playing.
Oh yeah, when on the top of the deck.
Yeah, it was an honor. It was an honor to play with you, gentlemen. And then, hell no, Hell, you mean to tell me all 4, 5, 6 people on that band all said we're gonna stay and play? No, even logical levels will say that no. At least one out of those men are like, I'm gone.
Okay, so it is from 1852 as a code of conduct, and it's also known as the Birkenhead drill, whereby the lives of women and children were to be saved first in a life-threatening situation, typically abandoning ship, when survival resources such as lifeboats were limited. However, it has no basis in maritime law. So it was more of like I guess, a code of honor sort of thing.
What is it called? Birkenham?
The Birkenhead.
Birkenhead?
Birkenhead. Yep.
Birkenhead
Yep.
drill.
Birkenhead drill. That is what it is built from.
A courageous behavior? Ain't no way. Hold on. You mean to tell me I died because of a drill?
Yes.
It's not even law and shit. It's literally just a drill. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I gotta read this. I gotta read this. Okay. Nah, because that's some bullshit. All right, let me see. While transporting troops and a few civilians to Algoa Bay, the Birkenhead was wrecked on February 26, 1852 at Danger Point near Gansby, Cape Town in Cape Colony. There were insufficient serviceable lifeboats for all the passengers, and the soldiers firmly stood in ranks on board, thereby allowing the women and children to board the boat safely and escape the sinking. Okay, first of all, that's already the whole. I ain't signed up to be no damn soldier. That's number one. Right? All these soldiers, they have a rule. Guess what? Guess what happens if they decided to abandon ship? You get in court. Actually, I think around this time, you're in your life in prison or you're dead right there.
True, they'll just drop you. Yeah.
Right? So of course I'm gonna be chilling out. Of course I'm gonna be, let them go, sir. Let them all go. Because I know damn well my fate would not be as good as surviving. Right? So of course that happens. So you get on the Titanic because you want to have a good time. Right? And look, John just said this. This still took place before people lined up on the battlefield to be mowed down by machine guns. Chivalry coexisted. There were actually royalty on the ship. Like, yo, I really forgot about that. People really did line up to be like the barrier to machine guns and shit. Y'all crazy. But let's see. Only 193 of the estimated 643 people on board survived, and the soldiers' chivalry gave rise to the unofficial women and children first protocol when abandoning ship, while the Birkenhead drill of Rudyard Kipling's poem came to describe courage in the face of hopeless circumstance. The fuck? Hold up, bro. Hold up. So you mean to tell me, again, my life is at risk now because some soldiers couldn't say no?
Yes.
Do you see how dumb that is? Right? This is 1852. 1852. John says, to say this was a different era doesn't even begin to explain the mindset. Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm going to be real with y'all. right now. If I'm on a cruise ship, okay, and that shit's going down, I'm Usain Bolton over to them lifeboats.
Move,
right?
Bitch. Get out the way.
I won't even people like step into it and shit like that. Nah, I'm a WWE frog splash into that, right? I'm gonna be like, bam, I'm on the lifeboat. Whoever want to come, right? I'll save as many people as I can. Women, children, men, babies, it don't matter. Right? Because that's how it should be. Save as many lives as possible. Now, what can be a moral issue is, would you save the children or the 75-year-old? That's where the moral issue comes from. Right? Now it's a moral thing. Right? All right. And you want to know where the logic is? The worst logic behind this? Okay. Now there's gonna be an exception to the rule. All these kids and women, right? For this one here, they didn't just sign up for war,
Right.
right? Which means by accept you signed up for war, which means it was your duty, your acceptance on paper and everything that you save the civilians over anything.
Okay.
Right? When a cop has to put a civilian's life ahead of their own, that's what they signed up for.
Right.
If I don't sign no papers like that, you ain't gonna tell me what I should be sacrificing my life for. You ever see those movies that be like, you need to sit here and then you need to make sure they get scot-free or some shit like that from a burning building? I'm gonna look at them like, you can sit here. I'm gone, bro. Like, ain't no way. But let's just to make it worse though, in my opinion, to make it worse. The survivability factor. You're in cold waters. You're in freezing temperatures. Right? Men are more prone to survive that. The whole point, and you can actually see this in iRobot. You save who is the most survivable. You know what I'm saying? And then you go back for those extra. In iRobot, you saw Will Smith and this girl with her family, they crashed into a river or a lake or something like ocean. And the robot jumped in, calculated in its head that Will Smith was more likely to survive being saved than she was. So it, of course, saved him because he was more likely to survive the encounter. Right? Now, if he had left him alone, of course, he's going to die. But it went based off of, if I save you, what is the percentage of me saving you gonna increase for you to survive after I save you? You get what I'm saying? Man, and again, this is not me saying men or this and that more important. This is just me saying this is the dumbest shit I ever heard. I can always make more babies. Right? So the children already my equal right there, right? Then there are more women than men, so the women are more my equal right there. So the logic behind it is dumb, especially if you're using soldiers. I don't fire no guns. I don't shotgun zombies. Shout out to Call of Duty. I don't do that. I'm in my house. Where it's safe, right? I'm not on the Titanic. Women, man, I wish somebody told me, sir, you can't get on unless all the women. I'd drop kick you and bring them on my damn self, dog. I'm sorry.
Because I mean, when it comes down to it, like, okay, if you are like in an actual situation, you went on one of the cruise ships and it starts sinking. Number one, if everybody on that ship who is single and is just there by themselves is going right for the lifeboats and they're going to be knocking over everyone in their way, they're not going to give a fuck. They don't care. They're going to be sprinting for it. You're going to be scrambling to grab your family or your kids. And if you're at the lifeboat and you look back and Mima is like all the way down at the other gangplanks, like, damn, Mima, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm running back all the way for you. It's going to take a minute to get you. And by the time I go back and get you, it might have gotten even worse.
Yep.
So it's when it comes down to it, bro, people are going to try and save themselves first. They're not going to be like, oh, go ahead. No. It's about, I want to live too. I ain't trying to die. Get the fuck out my way.
The only time I would accept things like that is if it's something along the lines of airplanes, right?
That's fair.
Airplanes, They say make sure the child or somebody next to you has their stuff in, like their stuff good. The only reason they say that is because the child doesn't know how to do it.
Right.
So that's understandable. But if it's get in the boat, the child knows how to do that. Right? May the best Street Fighter survive in that 2021 cruise ship. Exactly. I'm gonna show you can somebody out my way. I'm sorry.
I mean, also on airplanes, they always say secure your own air mask first.
Exactly. They
because,
don't say
like if I have a kid, right, and I try to focus on them, but I pass out, they still screw.
They screw. Yep. Off rip.
Get me safe and set up, then I'm gonna get my kid.
Thomas said, "Well, in that in that case, the Titanic, when the case of the Titanic was enforced. Listen, how are you going to enforce it unless I let you? You know how many off officials there were on that boat compared to actual people? Let me, and let's say I came with like a party of 10. Let us be like just a whole group of like 6 men, 4 women. Tell us that we can't get on. There's too much chaos going on for you to stop me. And if I knock you out, you can't say nothing. You don't know who I am. You don't got my records because everything's going down, right? You don't know what happened. Right? For all you know, you could have been knocked out in the back of the head. Could have been me. Could have been a lead pipe. I don't know. Right? But it's just the fact that I don't find it believable that was the consensus. I don't find it believable. Because of the fact, you see, all right, so Timeless said there were a lot of workers. You think those workers weren't thinking the same thing? I went on the boat trying to get a job. And you mean to tell me I'm going to die? First of all, okay. And the fact that back then the culture was different. No, the culture back then was submissive. That's the difference, right? But people still were people. Submission is gone when survival is there, right? A slave will kill their master if they had the opportunity, if their life was in danger, right? Right? It could be the best master in the whole world. You know, I never heard of that, but I'm just saying it could have been the best. Slave was still killed if it meant they survived. Your Honor, I believe in equal rights, but that day I believed in equal lefts. Hey, yo, this man's on bumpers. Here's the biggest thing though. I don't think that was enforced. I think that's hearsay. I think that's a fable in regards to people saying women and children were the first to go. That's what I think. Right? If I'm working, I'm getting off the boat. If I'm downstairs, I'm getting off the boat.
True.
If I'm broke, I'm getting off the boat. Right? You got 40% of low class, right?
That I blame on the fact that, well, a lot of the time, so like everybody who's in the engine room, especially when that happened, they're dead. Like, you're not getting out. Like when they hit that iceberg and all that shit, anyone on the lower decks where that shit flooded, you were very likely drowned before it got really bad anyway. Yeah. So I think that's why a majority of the workers died. Like if you were a server or something, you're on the upper decks, yeah, a pretty good chance, I would think.
Listen, I'm here to put up with you want to know how I know there's some bullshit that these workers died on purpose than by accident? You work at a movie theater.
Okay.
Person comes in and punches the shit out of this, I don't know, this young woman. What you doing? Mind you, you're not a security guard or nothing. You're the guy at the popcorn machine. What you doing? And be realistic.
In that situation, step one, probably calling 911. Immediately calling the police. It depends. Like they hit him once, you're like, oh shit, that's really bad, and that's like it. That's a 911 call. Now, if it continues, that might be the time to step in.
What you gonna do?
I mean, is it one dude?
There's one dude. He probably like, let's say he's about the size of LeBron.
Okay.
What you doing?
And I work at the movie theater, right?
You out here, you just tossing your popcorn. What you doing?
I'm gonna get a bag of hot popcorn butter. I'm gonna throw that shit in his face.
Are you
burn his ass with some hot buttery popcorn?
Because if you do that, now you in jail.
I don't know, man.
It's not self-defense because you use an external thing and then cause realistic burns to him.
Okay, so what if I get between them with the hot buttery popcorn and I tell him to stop, and then he comes at me, and then I throw the hot buttery popcorn in his face?
Are you doing that though?
I don't know. 911 would definitely happen.
This is why I say realistic, right? Everybody knows we have a fight or flight response. Most of us are not doing anything because we're gonna wait for somebody to do something, right? In regards to this situation, right? Because your life is not in danger, and more than likely you're looking at this person like their life is not in danger, but their damn sure health is, right? Like they getting beat up and stuff. With that being the case, you will not do anything because guess what? You're just the popcorn guy. You get what I'm saying? Because if you step in, you face the ramifications for doing something rather than letting security handle it. You get what I'm saying? You're looking out for yourself first. We tend to know or look at what will affect us first, then look at everything else, right? If this dude's built like LeBron, guess what you just did? You just did 10, 20, 100 scenarios in your head in 2 seconds of him either beating your ass or something. You just became Doctor Strange with that bullshit and analyzed every single situation that could happen. If it tells you your ass is getting beat, then guess what? You ain't doing nothing. Now, if you flip it and it's majority of the situations is you being able to beat that dude's ass, you're gonna do something about it. But before that, as they're talking about, it's the bystander effect. Let's see. So John said, stepping in for a work colleague is not self-defense. You will be held civilly liable in court and potentially criminally, depending on how much damage you do to him. See, exactly.
There's those good Samaritan clause? Damn, bro, what the fuck?
Ain't no good, man. There's two things that's going to happen in court. Either the judge looks at you and go, you know what? You did a good thing, but you still caused harm. 1 year plus community service, right? The other thing is the judge going to look at you and say, we can't have vigilantism. So I'm sorry. You're done. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all possibility. But this shows you that people are gonna choose their survival first. No, he's not beating you, he's beating somebody else. And yeah, you gotta hope the judge takes pity. Majority of these cases you just gotta pray the judge is kind hearted. But now I see the Titanic. First of all, nobody jumping off the ship like that except those who feel there's no other way.
Right.
Because what's the point of going into the water faster? Does that make sense to you? That doesn't make sense.
Also, you don't get dragged down by the ship itself sinking.
Timeless said that's not vigilantism. Yeah, it is, because you're taking...
Hold up, let me Google it.
So what you're doing is, remember, you don't have... There's no law where you can actually harm somebody that's not affecting you. Right? You can detain someone, you can't harm them. Right? So if you beat up somebody...
Oh, wait. What about a citizen's arrest?
That's detaining. That's not harming.
Okay.
If he's only assaulting the other person, you fucked if he pull a gun. Yeah. You got a solid case of self-defense to say you felt threatened. See? Self-defense is always when you felt threatened, not when somebody else is. That's all. Now, the gun situation, like John is talking about, yes, that's a perceived threat because now it can affect you if that person decides to shoot willy-nilly. You get what I'm saying? But outside of that, no, you're gonna be held liable. I don't even jump in pools fast. That iceberg water is a hard pass. Exactly, Stefan. Like I never understood jumping off of a sinking ship that fast. Because to make matters worse, it's a sinking ship, right? Shit is breaking. So your ass gonna jump off, probably get stabbed by some random piece of metal or some random, I don't know, I think around that time they use a lot of wood. Yeah, like something's gonna bash you in the head. No. The Titanic did not happen the way they describe it in history books. I don't think so. I just don't. Right? There's no way people are sitting there like women and children first, and I'm just chilling there. I'm just like, I'm gonna wait till all the women on there. I'm gonna wait till all the children on there. Yeah, oh, was that the last one? But can I go? Oh, you're out of lifeboats? Oh. What about that door that Jack had in the other Titanic? Oh, those don't float like that? Oh, okay. Oh. So how are you getting on? Yeah, my spot right over there. Oh, Does that even sound remarkably like logical? Like no, no, that no, no. Now I understand some people, probably the husbands and fathers at the time, said, "Okay, my children go, I'm gonna stay here." Like I understand that. How many of them were doing that though? Because like I told you, right? If I need to stay back, I will. If I'm a husband and father. Okay. But if there's 3 seats in that boat, and there's 3 of us, we getting in that boat together, right? We getting in that boat together. Ain't no way it's gonna be my wife, my kid, your wife. It ain't happening like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, bro. Titanic's a whole. That thing's a whole lie, in my opinion. The way things went down, and that's also the other thing. Remember, if history teaches you something, there's 2 people that tell the story: survivors and winners.
Right.
Survivors and winners. You want look how many ships would you say have gone down between 1900 and 1920? I'd be like hundreds, right? Okay. How many cruise ships were considered to have gone down in that time? Probably like 4, right? Along the lines. What made the Titanic different from everything else? The story. That's it. There was another ship going down with a good story behind it. Ain't nobody making other movies about sinking ships like, right? But the Titanic is just the exception because the mysterious, like, even picture the Titanic. It was a cruise ship. The low class was shitty. The upper class was doing their thing, right? They didn't see an iceberg that was clearly in front of them. They went down. That's the story of the Titanic. That's it. That's it. Right? That's it. What's so great about it? What is so memorable about it? This exact story. The whole women and children first. The whole the band is playing when the ship went down, and which again is still bullshit. Cause ain't no way I'm gonna play my damn violin and trumpet when I'm about to die. We just not doing that. All right, I'm not Brooke from One Piece who knew he was poisoned and shit, and then they singing pirate jingles and all that stuff. That's not me, right? That's not anybody logical. Okay, that's a cartoon. Okay, so I'm just saying, can't have that. That would make sense. So, but again, we now realize that right there with the whole who was the bullshitters that did it? Yeah, see, look, Birkenhead. First of all, your name's Birkenhead, so anybody on that ship, damn sure ain't had nothing in their brain. But it's the fact that I think has led to so many other things in life, in which men are viewed as the ones that to throw their lives on the line for anybody. That's women and children, right? Which means we also gave narrative to the fact that men are viewed as only protectors. Which means if men are taken advantage of, that man is a weak man. Which means with that weak man, then if that man shows any type of feeling and things like that, he's taken advantage of. He is called weak. He is called nothing. You see what I'm talking about with the domino effect with that? It's just the fact that, that initial rule, I think, led to everything else. Thomas said 16% of men lived from the Titanic, 72% of women lived. Exactly. I'm not saying they didn't use the code. I'm saying motherfuckers was just dumb. But also, the reason why 16% of men lived, think about it this way. If they enforce the code, guess what the men are doing? They're gonna try to swim them damn selves. Right? There ain't no door. Right? They trying to swim. I think they had some sharks over there.
That's why nice guys
killer whales and shit like that. Remember sharks and shit. Like, I mean, not sharks. Men and shit. we will do our best to survive as best we can. I'm not gonna just sit there and wait the ship and go down. All the lifeboats are gone because all the women and children you said are going first and shit like that. Now I gotta learn how to survive and shit in cold weather with nothing around me because it's all icebergs and shit that you clearly couldn't see, but I could clearly see it now. And I died because I would have survived better if I was on the lifeboats. You know what I'm saying? Like again, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
like,
you know what? I got a prison story for you.
go ahead.
Now, one, I've never been actually indicted and gone to prison. That's not what happened. So it was a criminal justice course I was taking at CHC over the summer, and I forget the teacher. She was dope though. But we went to a prison. You know, get to take a look at it. So we toured it, and we got to meet some of the prisoners who are, I guess, the more chill ones who just are good to talk to people. So at one point, they were taking us through a part, and apparently they're moving one of their more dangerous prisoners. And like this guy was wild. He was yelling, screaming, and they're like, "Yo, we got to get them, in a different wing. We don't want them interacting with this guy." So the guy opens the door and he's like, "Go." And it's like some of the dudes like did stop and we're like, "Oh, ladies go." And then me included, a couple others were like, "Fuck that." He said, "Go, I'm going." Like, I'm not trying to deal with this crazy ass prisoner. Because afterwards, after they got everybody in, we're like, "Well, is he really that dangerous?" Like, yeah, he's like bitten guards and shit, and he assaults people all the time. And I'm like, "Oh, so this guy was actually really dangerous."
Mm-hmm.
So in that situation, sure, some people were chivalrous, but it's like, bro, I'm not trying to get hurt either. So he said go, I'm gonna go.
I get that.
Now, if my girlfriend's with me, that's different. It's like, let me grab my girl or something like that, But it's like, if it's just you and there's a bunch of other people and it's like a dangerous or potentially dangerous situation, I'm probably going.
This is okay. Hold up. I'm looking at these.
The stats.
I'm looking at the stats.
All right.
Okay. Children saved from the first class, 100%.
Of course, well, yeah.
Children saved from the second class, 100%.
Okay.
Women saved from the first class, 97%.
Okay.
The crew of women, 86%. The second class women, 86%. Third class, 46%.
Damn. All right.
Children, 34% in third class.
Damn. Oh, shit.
Get ready for the men's side. Men first class.
Wait. First class is going to be like 98.
32.
Okay. Damn, really? Okay.
32%. Men third class.
5%.
16%.
All right. It wasn't that
Men
bad.
second class, 8%.
8%?
Yeah. This is the percent of how many were saved. But then you look at how many were on board, right? The reason why a good chunk of the men who didn't survive is there is because out of all the men's classes and stuff like that, the most were the men's crew.
Right.
With 885 people. 693 died. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Now that's the casualty figures. Now it says actual survival rate by sex, age, and class compared to expected survival rates based off sex and age alone. Right? 97% were saved from first class. Expected percent, right, should have been 74%.
Okay.
Children in the first class, 100% were saved. Expected 52%. Men's first class, 32 were saved. Expected 20%. Right? So that's the first class, right? So out of the 62% that were saved in the first class, only 44 was expected to be saved. Right? Women's second class, 86% was saved, 74 was expected. Children, 100% was saved, 52 was expected. Men, 8% was saved, 20 is expected. So this one was kind of close. 41 out of the second class, 41% was saved, expected was 40. Third class now, 46% were saved, expected 74. Children, 34 was saved, expected 52. Men, 16% were saved, expected 20. So they saved only 25% of the third class, but 36 were expected to survive. Now, with the crew, they saved 86% of the women crew. Expected was 74. They saved 21% of the men's crew. Expected 20.
Damn.
Now, you want to know what that means, though? If the expected means is everybody had a fair shot.
Okay.
What would have happened? You get what I'm saying? Where they were, what would have happened? So, you know, there were different floors, first class, third
If you're at the
class.
bottom of the ship, you're fucked.
Exactly. So that's why the third class, their expected rate altogether was 36%. But they weren't as fucked as people think. Because in comparison, it's a 4% difference with each class. And that most likely has to do with the fact that they got to go upstairs.
Okay.
Right? This shows how much the Titanic really did care about women and children first. Bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Bullshit. They didn't care about women and children first. They cared about money first. Who the hell costs the most up here? Then are they women and children? You know what I'm saying? Because, again, they saved 62%. That means 62% of the lifeboats went to the first class. Well, a higher 62%. Which the 44%, the 44 was what they should have got. You know what I'm saying? Second class, 41% was saved, 40% was expected. So that means they cut so much shit for the third class and the crew so much that it went to the first class. So that whole thing of women and children first was actually bullshit. It came second to how much were you worth. Right? Now, with that being said, still bullshit. Still bullshit. Look, here's the thing about the third class people and the low class people. You know they got nothing to lose, right? They got nothing to lose. So you mean to tell me none of them just said, fuck it? None of them said, fuck it, let me just go beat your ass, get on this boat? None of them? Come on, bro. The biggest hit was the men's crew. That was the biggest hit. If they were smart, they would have killed all the first class people. You don't even got to kill them. All I'm saying is, if I'm running towards a lifeboat, you're running towards a lifeboat, and you just so happen to be bumped by my shoulder, like, you know what I'm saying? If we running, you know, first come, first serve. So you get bumped, boom, boom.
I'm gonna trip your ass.
You fall somewhere or some shit. I get there and they tell you, sorry, sir, I gotta take that woman over there or that child over there first. I'm gonna say, sorry, sir, looks like you're not surviving this either. You're getting off. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be a statistic, my guy.
He gonna be a statistic because now this was gonna happen, right? If I'm smart, this was gonna happen. Now, I'm the one that's taking control of the boat. So I'm gonna turn the fuck around and go, yup. Every man and woman, yup. Make sure I save my seat though. Yup. All right, peace. Like, that's just how it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. You ain't about to put somebody else's children and somebody else's wife ahead of me, bro. You're not gonna do that. Right? Back then was a different culture. Mine's are still the same. If somebody spit in your face today, aren't you punching them in the face?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's
Okay.
also assault, so I can't.
If somebody spits in your face in 1912, aren't you punching them in the face?
Oh yeah.
If somebody spits in your face around Jesus, aren't you punching them in the face? That's what I'm talking about.
Turn the other cheek, my son.
Yeah, turn the other cheek to hit the other cheek. That's all it means. Man, like, nah, bro, because people always out here talking about women and children first. And technically, I'm more of a gem than you are because I am rare compared to you, right? You are two of something. I am one of something, right? I can procreate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Right? I got survivability and all that stuff. When I go back, and mind you, this is 1912. So that means when I go back to the city, I could buy property. Bam, there you go.
You
No,
now have more value.
I'm playing. But you see what I'm talking about is the reasoning behind it all started from dumbasses who couldn't say no to their general because treason or abandonment was
You'd be abandoning your post, yeah,
yeah.
100%.
So you would have been killed on the spot by your own men, by your own soldiers, by your own admiral, whatever it was. You you know what's funny? This is how you this is why history itself is very fascinating. Very fascinating when it comes to the trickle down effects. Had those soldiers said, "We want to survive," I don't think that the Titanic happens the way it does.
Probably not.
Right? I don't think it happens the way it does. And we all know the butterfly effect, in which if that happened, the world changes completely.
Mm.
Right? You get now you get new families that didn't survive the Titanic and the bloodlines that didn't survive the Titanic, and now they survive. Now it's all different. Right? It could change so much to the fact that maybe who you are isn't who you are anymore. Maybe your life itself was affected by the Titanic alone, which caused, I don't know, your great great grandpappy to tie his left shoe first instead of his right shoe first. You get what I'm saying? Like just that I always tell people about this too. Every little thing in this world matters.
Mm.
Every little thing you do in this world matters. Because I always tell people, you saying hi to somebody on the street, random, it could be random. You saying hi to somebody else on the street momentarily takes their attention off what they were focusing on. Which means they either looked at you, acknowledged you, or they are saying hi as well. Right? Thomas said the Titanic didn't have soldiers. No, not the Titanic didn't have soldiers. It's about the whole women and children first thing. There was a Bankhead.
The Birkenhead drill.
They started
if you Google that, that's where it stemmed from.
Yeah. So they started it, and I'll be real with you. For somebody who's called the Birkenhead, they went. I don't think I want to be with somebody whose ship sank. I'm sorry. Like I don't think I want to listen to them when it comes to that stuff. So, and then it says legacy for the Birkenhead. The sinking of the Birkenhead is one of the earliest maritime disaster evacuations, during which the concept of women and children first is known to have been applied. Women and children first subsequently became standard procedure in relation to the evacuation of sinking ships in fiction and in life. The term Birkenhead drill became defined as courageous behavior in hopeless circumstances and appeared in Rudyard Kipling's 1893 tribute to the Royal Marine Sailor and Sailor 2. See, now here's the key part right here. You ready? Here's the key part. Became the standard. Oh, no. The term Birkenhead drill became defined as courageous behavior in hopeless circumstances. If there's a lifeboat in front of me, ain't no hopeless circumstance.
Okay.
Hopeless circumstance if there's no lifeboats in front of me. Right? Remember, hope isn't about what might happen. Hope is about what's there. Right? When you're in a car crash, you hope that the airbags deploy properly. You hope your seatbelt is attached properly. You hope nobody dies. You hope all that stuff. Why? Because they're all there. You don't hope, oh God, I wish a plane doesn't crash on me right now, when there's no plane in the sky. You don't do that. Hope is about what's in front of you. So if my means of escape is right there in front of me, and I have the power to actually go do it with no repercussions to myself, what are you talking about hopeless? Oh, you know something else? When you think about it, if you saved more men on the Titanic, those men can also carry people. So even though the boat has a capacity, I don't think they'll think about weight capacity. You get what I'm saying? So it could be, I don't know, a 16-year-old that needs to be carried or something like that. An 18-year-old, another woman, like another man. Like men can do that. You know what I'm saying? But they instead went by how many seats were in each one. Right? And I've been on a boat in which the weight does have to be like you do have to have an even weight. You got to make sure everything's good. But certain boats, of course, they're able to take on 6 people, and then also able to take on, I don't know, a giant tackle box and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when you see shit like that, it's like logically you guys did a bad job. And I get it, you know, in emergencies you're not thinking logically, but the ships that were over cap most almost sank. But that's the thing. Did they sink because of the weight? Or did they sink because they crashed into shit?
Well, the ship split in half too. Remember that, so that also didn't help.
Yeah, but the added weight that the ship took on was from the water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think it just said it busted like 3 holes and some shit. Like it was like it's a story. It was like a once in a lifetime incident, which all 3 holes were broken. Which again, how do you not see a damn iceberg that big? Right. So.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say also. Here's a fun fact. So apparently, cruise ships are supposed to have enough lifeboats to accommodate 37.5% of the passengers and crew. So either way, a lot of people are gonna die.
That's dumb.
So like a cruise ship of capacity with 4,000 people will have at least 20 lifeboats. So there must be enough capacity for at least 37.5%.
That's stupid.
And then they said the remaining capacity must be provided with life rafts, which are kind of shit in a situation like this. So
that's I don't know. I think that's dumb. I think if you can't hold a certain amount of lifeboats, don't build the fucking ship. If your ship can hold 1,000 people, then your lifeboat should have at least 1,000. If you can hold 40,000, lifeboat should be 40,000. Right? And the way these ships are now, you see how big the motherfuckers are now, right? The Titanic looks like a pebble next to these other ships now.
That's true.
So they don't even need to have a big ass lifeboat. They can have a yacht. You can have a yacht in the basement of the boat, just right there. Like when it's time to get out, like it just drops down and shit, or drops forward on a chain or something like that. They can have a yacht. You know what I'm saying? On the side. I see the lifeboats too. They're mostly like on the side and stuff like that. But in my opinion, if you can only save surely 37% and at least not 50%, then you're cutting corners. Because ships still to this day, with all the technology we have today, sink. Planes crash. Cars fail. Right? All that happens, and we have safety precautions because of it. Now, in regards to the plane, you know, we mostly have oxygen because they want us to
have like 3 backup systems too, just in case.
Yeah,
but
they want us to breathe for our last day, I guess. I don't know, but
no.
Yo, I'll never trust his plane, bro. I'll never trust plane. My boy told me what his uncle said. He was like, you see why I don't trust planes? He said when the car breaks down, you pull off to the side of the road. When a plane breaks down, that's it.
It depends on what. It depends.
No,
on what happened?
No,
it does depend.
No,
it does depend.
No,
it does depend. Look at Sully. He landed the plane in the river, even though they had engine failure.
You talking about the one in a lifetime motherfucker?
It depends on what goes wrong
the Charles
with the
River, whatever they call it, the Jersey River or some shit
in New York. Yeah, it depends on what goes wrong.
You know what I mean?
If you like, for instance, if one engine dies on a plane, you can still fly. They can get that back to an airport with no problem.
Man, if my foot was chopped off, I could still walk, but that shit gonna be awkward.
If both your engines blow up, that's like a colossal system failure that is so unlikely to happen. It's not even funny.
Okay.
Like what happened with Sully and his plane, that was a freak accident. There wasn't supposed to be a flock of birds there.
Okay. So we just monitoring birds. That's crazy. But, okay. When the plane's engine goes, like you said.
Okay, one engine failure.
And you flying over the Sahara Desert or some shit, right? Or a very, very congested city. The fuck you doing?
Aiming for a body of water.
You pulling for Sully?
Bro, pilots are
what
taught
if you
one.
what if you live in Montana?
They're not supposed to crash into buildings or highly populated areas.
What if you live?
You look for an open field or a body of water to try and touch down it.
Man, look. Let me tell you something that's undefeated. Let me tell you something that's undefeated. Gravity, okay? If gravity decides you going down, you going down. Look, you downtown. Let's say you flying over downtown and both your engines crash and shit like that. The body of water that you're looking for is 5-10 miles away, right? What gravity's gonna do is say, "Motherfucker, you going down." You could, do all that.
You can coast
movie
coast
shit all you want, bro. But guess what? That plane is more than me. Guess what happens? If I fell off the sky, my ass is going straight down. Okay, force equals mass times acceleration.
You're not aerodynamically designed, though.
Yes, I am. If I put my shit out there and fly like this, but here's the thing. All right. If the plane's going down, the plane way more than me. So my suitcase and everything's going down. So the plane's going down. Okay.
The plane is going down, but it's not gonna just drop like a brick. Planes they glide down, so they can still steer.
It's not gonna drop like a brick. You know, it'll drop.
You have a chance.
No, listen. It's gonna drop like this remote, right? Like that's all it is. So I could throw this remote, right? Let me tell you how it's gonna go. Okay. This how Jared's thinking about it. Oh, the plane's going down. Yeah, it's going down this way. All right, this is reality. All right. Oh shit, engine failure. That shit gone. That shit gone. You know what I'm saying? And then the worst part is, right? You know, there's people that be like, "Yo, if it's my time, it's my time." What if I'm next to you? Huh? What if I'm next to you on the plane? Now it's my time too? No, hell no.
What you gonna do, dog? You can't fly the plane. The plane's going down. There's no parachutes. There's no jetpack.
That's what I'm saying. What if it's your time and I just so happen to be next to you? Now it's my time now, but not, you know what I'm saying? You taking me with your time. My time ain't now. I'm not John Cena. Okay, my time is not now. Okay, you out here, causing me to die because it's your time. Hell no. I'm just saying.
Bro, plane crashes are so rare. It's not even funny. They literally only happen when everything goes wrong. Like plenty of planes have been flying and something went wrong and they're like, all right, we gotta land this thing and it's all right. Like Bill Burr talks about, he literally talked about an incident. He was flying to Oakland, right? And he said he kept smelling a burning scent, like had burning smell. He's that's weird. And he notices the stewardess just kept going back and forth.
Okay.
Then
hold on.
Minutes,
I got you. The odds of a plane
crashing
is 1 in 205,000.
Bro,
the odds of being a cyclist is dying as a cyclist is 1 in 4,000. The odds of drowning is 1 in 1,000, and the odds of dying in a car crash is 1 in 102. Right? Okay. Now, bullshit. Because bullshit. You know why I know it's bullshit? Because it's the same motherfuckers that do that. They say the odds of a shark attacking you is like 1 in 2 million or something like that. Motherfucker, if I'm not in the ocean, of course it's gonna be 1 in 2 million. All right, a shark ain't gonna randomly pass by me on the way to the aquarium and just decide I'm hungry, right? You know what I'm saying? No, that's not how it goes. You gotta go based off of how close you are to the motherfucking shark, and then the shark decides or not to eat you. Now, if that number is still the same, then yes, this is valid, okay? But if Jared, the same motherfuckers that tell you the odds are 1 in 205,000, I bet you the motherfucker that crashed out the same shit, right?
Bro, plenty of people survived them though. It's
the
not like
shit
every
ain't
plane
zero,
crash is fatal.
dog. The shit ain't zero.
Not.
Okay,
no, it's not zero.
If that shit was 0.0000001, I would understand. Right? What's 1 in 250? What's the percentage of that?
Bro, it's not even a percent. It's less than 1% chance to happen.
I'm gonna just put 200,000 percentage. 20,000. So 1 in 20,000 is 0.01%. That's how much my bank gives me in interest. So that tells you something still gets there. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, there's going to be fatal crashes. It's going to happen eventually.
He said, okay, let me see what he's saying. He said, stairs are more deadly than guns, and guns are more deadly than planes. Until that's true. That's true. Until your ass in that plane. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If I don't have no gun around me and I'm in a plane, guess what's more dangerous right there? The plane, not a gun. That's all I'm saying. It's all relative. It's all relative to the situation you're in. Right? I don't even know how we got off on this tangent, but fuck it. Okay? I'm just saying, you know,
oh my god.
Shit increases as your situation changes. That's all I'm saying. All right? The odds of me getting bit by a dog is probably 1 in 500. But if my ass stay inside, that shit going to be 1 in 1 million. That's all I'm saying. Right? But bet you I go next to a dog, I bet you that 500 turn into 2. Now it's a 50-50. Now it's a 50-50 chance of me getting bit by a dog. But nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to talk about that. The percentage changes the closer you are to the shit. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That percentage changes. So, fuck that. Shit. Especially them small planes, bro. You know, them seven passengers and shit carriers. Last time I was in one.
I'll go on those.
Last time I was in one, bro. Like, mind you, I'm next to the fucking pilot. I could see the pilot's shoes, right? I'm flying. You could hear it, right? We flying normal. I could see all the islands. I see Antigua. I see Dominica. I see Guadeloupe. I see all the islands, right? Cool. I don't know what the fuck happened, but the motherfucker plane went from this to this. Like, ain't no plane supposed to do this, okay? It's not supposed to go at 90-degree angle, okay? Mr. Coast to Coast, Mr. Oh, it just evens out. Once the plane did this, Jared, okay? So all that bullshit of it just glides down diagonally and shit, that's already a lie, because that shit said, okay, that shit took its own stairs, okay? The fuck? I don't know what you talking about.
You mean he descended rapidly? That can happen too.
No. Descended rapidly is still this, right? It's still this. Like, it's still like an escalator. This is a fast escalator. This motherfucker said this.
I think you said a shit pilot, bro.
You see my finger? It said, like that's how it was. Okay, it wasn't no, no, it was, okay? The fuck? The survivability of plane crashes are 95%. First of all, no, hold on. We gonna stop the cap right there, okay? Because some of these shits be talking about some like rough landings where it's like, whoa, we just landed a little bit and the wheel kind of was a little wobbly. They count those as plane crashes and shit. I'm talking about full blown, okay? They ain't no 95%. I don't know what they talking about. No 95%. I don't get what they said.
Bro, in a catastrophic failure of a plane, obviously you're very likely gonna die. But it doesn't have to be catastrophic to cause your plane to crash.
Jared, what do you call a car crash?
Depends. Accident.
What does it consider of? Like, is it bumper to bumper where you just like tap the bumper? Do you count that as a car crash?
Nah.
Okay, what do you consider a car crash?
When your cars are mangled.
Okay then. So what I'm saying is, with the airplane, when the airplane mangled, ain't no 95%. That's some bullshit,
yeah, bro. There are some where they crashed and they lost. Look, bro. Planes are designed, like, especially once again, if it's not a catastrophic failure of all the mechanics of the plane, like if they have to coast and touchdown, right? One, wings are made to break away from the plane because one, they catch on fire and blow up. That's where all the fuel is. Two, the cockpit is designed to rip away and roll from the plane, so where the passengers are stays stable and the plane could just like go to the ground. They designed them to break apart on impact in a certain way to keep you as safe as possible. So if it is not a catastrophic failure of the plane, you have a very good chance of surviving. That's all I'm saying. They realize how dangerous it is when a plane crashes. So there's a lot of thought put into how a plane should break apart when it crashes. Hence, while your car has crumple zones, you have a higher survivability chance.
Jared.
It doesn't matter.
Jared. What's safer? Getting shot by a sniper in the head or getting blown up by a bazooka?
Sniper in the head.
Okay, you're
He might miss my brain.
but both times you're dead, ain't it?
No, if he misses my brain, I'm fine.
It's a sniper to the dome piece, bro.
Bro, if it rips off my skull, right, but it don't touch my brain, I'm fine. I just got a hole in my head.
I ain't saying no. See, you're looking like it's a skim. No, I said to the dome piece. Okay, not to give you a haircut. Okay, I'm talking about that motherfucker hit you right here, bro. I don't care what anybody tells me in regards to both situations in which I die. One is safer than the other. Okay, I still die.
I mean, what if the bazooka just blows up my legs though?
It's a bazooka.
It can still just blow off my legs.
Oh, so you surviving that?
Yeah, I probably. It's possible.
Probably.
Just because my legs get blown up don't mean I'm dead.
Motherfucker, it is possible for me to become the Avatar too, but it ain't happening.
Bro, you can get your legs blown off and live.
No doubt. But you have to also, what's it, what's that thing called? Cataroid? It's when you heat it up, like you heat up the wound.
Cauterize the wounds?
Cauterize, there it is. Yeah. Saying you'll survive a crash is not the same as you'll have all your parts afterwards. No. What I'm saying, Stefan, is I'm comparing both situations in which you die. One is safer than the other, but both are the situations you die. So all because one is safer than the other, it doesn't mean shit. They both have the same result. The ending is your soul leaves your body. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm talking about. But yeah, fam. I'm just saying. I don't know, bro. When it comes to me and airplanes, bro, this shit kind of got me. He said, "You ain't fucking no more." Listen. He ain't saying my dick fell off. Anyway,
some prosthetic legs. You be
that's what I'm saying. Right? He called me poor little tink tink. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, though, I do think men should be the protectors, but for their own family. Okay. If there's a situation in which I have to survive and it's somebody else's wife and kids, I'm sorry.
I'm choosing me.
I'm sorry. I got a wife and kid too. I don't want them to cry. There you go. Right? It just doesn't. And again, the whole point of it comes from people who failed to not only keep their shit afloat, but couldn't say no because they would have been killed. So a big part of our history as human beings comes from dumb shit, right there. All right, comes from the inability to say no and fucking up your own ship, which led to the Titanic. In which case, only 20% of the men made it out. You never really hear too much of the survivors go on to have their own families after either. Except the children, I think, because I think some of the women, they're like so traumatized and stuff like that, they can't live again, like all this other stuff. And then some of the men, same thing when they're older. So again, this is, in my opinion, this is very, very dumb shit. I think it's, again, how the Titanic went down is a big lie. I don't think it was just women and children and then everybody was like, cool. Like, all right, I'll just survive some other way. Let's see here. He said, moral of the story, don't be a simp. Of course. But reputation in a small world such as that one meant your life. Exactly. No, like if you were a deserter, you were done. But again, I'm saying like one of the biggest stories in history is one of the biggest issues with it is derived from motherfuckers who couldn't say no. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my whole issue with it. So if you didn't say you go ahead, you lost your job, and now you have the guilt of being unable to provide and shit like that. No, back then you got shot. This is an army. You got shot or put in prison if you disobeyed the order like that. That's what I'm saying. They couldn't say no. They couldn't say no. Even if they wanted to say no, they couldn't say no. Right? I understand this if everybody was just like, I understand. Look. Here's the thing. Right. See that mindset, stuff like Savon says. Ain't you the guy that let those women and kids die? It's the same thing we tell young kids in the hood and shit like that. Respect to you, and that pride in you and all that shit, credibility, is dead when you're dead. Right. You went out there like when we talked to the kids in the hood and shit like that. You went out there and shot a dude because of street cred. Now you're dead. Nobody visits your gravestone anymore, and nobody talks about you in stories anymore. But you got your street cred, right? So for me, aren't you the kid that let those women and kids die? Yes, I am. I got my kid and children right here too, and they alive. You see the issue, right? Everybody likes to take respect to them when they die. Ain't no respect in death, right? Because it's the same as when people say like thank you, like, oh, I thank them so much for this and that. You're dead. You know what I'm saying? So how are you gonna hear the thank yous? How are you gonna have personal satisfaction when you're dead? You know what I'm saying? Like that's all. No, right? I understand chivalry. Chivalry is cool. He said, "Nah, you got your little plotted plant next to a photo of you on the ground." Yeah, bro. Actually, off topic. Well, kind of on topic, but off topic. Is I still have some of my friends on my Facebook. A good amount of them. Um, some of them passed away since like 2009, right? And Facebook has now added a feature in which if you die, you could put somebody in charge before that. In the situation in which you die, they can go onto your account from their account and then put that you're dead and monitor your stuff. But these people now that I see that passed a while ago, they were the same people that had all the street cred, right? They doing all they doing and everything like that. But you start to see that every year, right, all the multiple posts they got through the year and shit like that gets reduced to their birthday. And then the birthday starts to be more forgotten. So them 100 happy birthdays, I wish you was here and all that stuff, turns into 50 the next year, then 25, then 2. And eventually the last post is from 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So once again, respect and all that stuff doesn't go with you in death because you ain't even around to enjoy it. I'm just saying that's just not the move. But yeah, man, that's all I got to say. Birkenhead, fuck you. Like y'all dumb as shit. So yeah, Jared, you got any last words for the fans out there? You got the millions of the Rock's fans.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got a British phrase for you.
Okay.
He's about to throw a wobbly. What do you think that means, Duncan?
I'm scared to ask.
It doesn't mean what you think it means.
He's about to throw wobbly.
Yeah, he's about to throw a wobbly.
I feel like about those a curveball.
No.
About those
it means someone's about to lose their shit. Like snap, go off, throw a tantrum. But you don't say, oh, he's about to explode. It's like, oh, he's about to throw a wobbly.
This man, Jared, dog.
I learned that shit today. I thought it was hilarious.
Man said, man, you make a very convincing argument for fuck them kids movement. The gang violence, I believe, to be the equivalent of Russian roulette. It actually is. Wobbly day from Fuse. Wobbly. Throw a hot dog. Water. Drink my water.
Water bottle.
But yo, like once again, y'all, we appreciate y'all for coming out. Of course, like and share as much as you can. Get the algorithm going for the channel. Uh, you know what I'm saying? We're starting to get more organized in the topics that we're discussing. So we will hit you with another one next week. Next week is gonna have to be a fun one again. Uh, Actually, Jared, I know which one it should be. I think I know. He said about to go wobbly. Um, it's gonna be. It's gonna be about. Uh, yeah, I got to discuss it with you after. I got to discuss it with you.
I got you.
But again, we appreciate y'all for coming through. Should I play April? No, this is a league day. I'm playing league tonight. So you guys have a very good night and what do you say?
Did you do?
And wobbly.
I wobbly.
Make sure the wobbles.
That's what I'm gonna do from now on. I'm gonna just have a British phrase for every time.